ghouls, wraiths, skeletons, undead minions, vampires, or the rest of the undead. All of those things are undead, though, so anything that says it works on undead works on all of them. The lesson was abruptly cut short by a wailing woman who clasped her rattling hands around Ethel's arm.
"Have you seen my Stefan?" she cried. "Have you seen my boy?"
Ethel stammered. "I'm sure he's here somewhere." And then the woman was gone as quickly as she had intruded, stumbling away into the crowd to plead with someone else. "We should go," Alice said. "The daughters will figure this out." Smorg had sent for the daughters of Nula to sort out what to do with the rescued children. They had arrived through the massive frostward portcullis, or at least Dan assumed the gaggle of white linen-wrapped women were the daughters. They did not look very daughterly. Dan and his friends followed Alice through the gate. As they passed the daughters of Nula, he noticed the cold gaze she shared with one of them. "Belinda," Alice grumbled. "Alice," Belinda grumbled back. They spoke each other's names like curses and kept walking. "What was that about?" Dan said. "Forget about it," Alice said. "I can't just forget about it. I get the impression you're like kind of a big deal. Everybody seems to know you. That nun hates you. Smorg is your best pal. What's the story there?" "I killed the Death Knight that killed his wife." "Yeah, but, why?" "He was the butcher of Kalinor. He butchered Kalinor and Smorg's wife." That hardly answered Dan's question. He felt like he had some right to know more of the details, since he was wearing the armor of said butcher of Kalinor, and had already been mistaken for him once. "He just wants to know if you're banging Smorg," Harley interjected, before Dan could ask again for more elucidation. Alice laughed. "Smorg is way too square to swing." Even though that was not what Dan wanted to know, it was good information to have. He did totally want to get it in with Alice if he had the chance. That girl was bad. Alice's eyes turned aside to something imagined, and she seemed to reconsider what she said last. "He is dreamy, though." "The giant's sword is a major turn-on," Harley agreed with a wide-eyed grin of emphasis. "I know," Alice squealed. "Isn't it just the end?" As they exited the tunnel into the open air of the frostward quarter, Dan caught shaky looks from common city dwellers all around. A woman milking a goat beside a doorstep appeared frozen, frowning at him, with her hand clutching the animal's teat. A small group of children hurried to scoop up the old teeth they were playing with in the dirt and hide behind a stone retaining wall. A smith stopped hammering a horseshoe to stare at Dan. A young mother saw him and quietly turned her baby carriage around to go the other way. Where the quarter had been alive with the sounds of early morning work, it was very suddenly silent. "Is this going to be this way everywhere I go?" Dan grumbled as he glanced around at all the terrified townsfolk. "Probably." Alice shrugged before she started off from the rest of the group. "I better get back to the bar. Who knows what kind of messes Bruiser left for me to clean up?" She sighed as she walked away, flashing a peace sign back at the rest of the group. "Peace." "Are we all level 10 now?" Ed said. He had to know the answer. He could see it quite plainly on the nameplates floating over them. Everyone in the group was level 10. "We're all level 10. Let's go join the Outsiders Guild. Come on." He waved them all to follow him away from the tunnel mouth, deeper into the city. The group did follow. As they began to move through the quarter, the petrified residents seemed to notice Dan had no devious designs for them, and they slowly regained composure, going about their daily tasks as they had before a walking personification of evil appeared before them. The Outsiders Guild Hall was a mini fortress on the edge of the frostward quarter, closest to the... Dan did not actually know. He had never been to the lunar side of the city, and did not know anything about what was...